the head of the Roman Catholic Church, recently received a white horse. This horse's name is Proton, which means first or number one in the Greek. My friends, we must reject the Roman Catholic dogmas that the Pope is Christ's true vicar and regent on earth. We must reject the Catholic doctrine that the Pope is infallible, and we must reject the idea that the Catholic Church has apostolic succession.
Welcome back to another episode on Global Impact. I'm your host, Jay Wells. There's a video that I want you guys to check out. People really don't believe that the Catholic Church got their hands in a lot of things. The Bible is clear. The Roman Catholic Church is the beast of Revelation. The Antichrist. That movement, that system, yeah. The Pope, all of that, everything plays in together. Check this out.
J.D. Vance wants Sunday laws, Sunday worship by law, right now.
If you go back to the First Amendment, it doesn't say separation of church and state. It says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion.
It is quite obvious the land beast attacks the separation of church and state in this latest statement. It is very strange that Pope Leo was gifted a white horse. Jesus is the rider of the white horse in Revelation 6. Do you see something prophetic here? Pope Leo is sending a signal that he will replace Christ? America is now pushing this idea that the separation of church and state in the Constitution is a great misunderstanding. Revelation 6 verse 1 and 2. I watched as the Lamb opened the first of the seven seals. Then I heard one of the four living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come!" I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest. Vice President J.D. Vance publicly rejects the separation of church and state during a Turning Point USA event, October 30, 2025. He spoke at the University of Mississippi during the first Turning Point USA campus event since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. About 10,000 people attended the gathering. During the question and answer session, Vance talked about what he called a misunderstanding of the separation of church and state. He said that those exact words does not appear in the U.S. Constitution. The Bible does not teach Christian nationalism, but the land beast USA is pushing error.
I want to just make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page here. So if you go back to the First Amendment, it doesn't say separation of church and state. It doesn't say separation of church and state. It doesn't say separation of church and state.
For me personally, they want Sunday laws to be implemented. They are really pushing Christian nationalism as the foundation to enforce their Project 2025 agenda.
It doesn't say separation of church and state. If you were to undo that, if you were to get back to a system actually meant by the founders where Congress is not setting up an established religion, but people in their local communities can kind of do whatever it is that they want to do, I think that would be a better system than what we have today. But I think the most important principle that we have got to remember is you do not have to completely kick God out of the public square. You do not have to completely kick God out of the public square, which is what we've done in modern America. It's not what the founders wanted. It's not good for the United States of America. And anybody who tells you it's required by the Constitution is lying to you. Thank you.
While it is true that the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, adopted in 1791, was originally applied only to the federal government and not to the states. However, J.D. Vance left out a major important fact. After the Civil War, the 14th Amendment was added to the Constitution in 1868. This amendment made sure that all citizens, including former slaves, had the same rights and protection in every state throughout the country. It also meant the freedoms in the Bill of Rights, such as the rule against establishing a state religion, now apply to state and local government as well as the federal government. Difference: they are working together. Rome, Project 2025, and Apostate Protestantism. Are they planning to rewrite the Constitution? It looks like it, and we will get back to it shortly. Personally, it gives me the chills that the Antichrist of Bible prophecy and the white horse is seen together.
The head of the Roman Catholic Church recently received a white horse. This horse's name is Proton, which means first or number one in the Greek. My friends, we must reject the Roman Catholic dogmas that the Pope is Christ's true vicar and regent on earth. We must reject the Catholic doctrine that the Pope is infallible, and we must reject the idea that the Catholic Church has apostolic succession.
This is part of conditioning the mind of the masses to accept the papal Antichrist as the Savior and Christ on earth. And this is not an exaggeration. The meaning of the word Antichrist is substitute. Listen to this difference. The letters on the Pope's mitre are these: Vicarus Filii Dei, which is Latin for Vicar of the Son of God. That is the Pope's official title. That means vicar or substitute for the Son of God. It's interesting that the term Antichrist in the original Greek actually means substitute for Christ. You can see that from the translation of the Greek word anti. It means substitute for. The rider of the white horse is Jesus. It parallels the condition of the church during the first seal of the 7 seals of Revelation, the church of Ephesus. Dearest friends, any politician or group, including J.D. Vance and Turning Point USA, that claims that states can create their own official religion apart from the 14th Amendment is not only mistaken about the Constitution but also pushing a dangerous idea. This belief threatens one of America's most important freedoms, the separation of church and state. The 14th Amendment makes it clear that no state can deny its citizens the same protections guaranteed by the Bill of Rights, including religious liberty. To argue otherwise is to roll back more than a century of constitutional precedent and open the door to religious coercion. The growing claim that states have the right to establish their own religion is not only constitutionally false, it is dangerous. Such ideas open the door to the same spirit that once persecuted dissenters and forced people to act against their conscience in the name of public morality. Whenever civil government takes it upon itself to define or enforce religion or worship, Sunday worship by law, it inevitably leads to discrimination, punishment, and loss of freedom, from Sunday law imprisonments of faithful Sabbath keepers in the 19th century to the persecution of minority faiths throughout history. The record shows that when church and state unite, it always leads to the revival of tyranny. These are signs of the times that we cannot ignore. They will use all their evil influence to enforce religious laws that the Bible condemns. We must be sober and vigilant, for the roaring lion, the lion of Christian nationalisms, is roaring right now. But the protest is not over for us Bible-believing Christians. The light of Christ is with you and me.
Don't forget to let me know what y'all think in the comment section, alright? Peace.
Jehovah